Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Shadow Smokes Legion in the Shadow Podcast. I'm your host, Tony the Soy Assassin. And I don't have the subtitle today, so I don't know is what kind of Simpapi rate is. I think today's Simpapi rate is it's not always pee time when it's food time. It's always food time is when pee time.
This no. How you say is not every pee time is poo poo time, but every poo poo time is pee pee time.
Close enough. There you go. He's always tired. I got it. All right. And also we have Midnight Cigar, Eric, and today let's do a quick shout out. But let me turn on the comments. Okay. Quick shout out to Fat Boys Cigars for being part of the shadow now too. You can find your shadow there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's our newest place that you can find the shadow. Well, shout out to Pick Jimmy, as he will refer it to as learn about the shadows there. You can learn about the shadows there. Okay. So we'll start with that. And I want to mention that, please, if you are going to try ITS, make sure that it's dry. Okay. Man, a lot of people are smoking it wet. Make sure it's dry. You'll have better experience when it's dry. Dry. Dry is the way, man. So I realize that a lot of people don't. They just, they just smoke whatever they got. And apparently in the shop, a lot of them does keep them in 70% or up. And people got bad experience with that. But when you get it, press it around. Make sure it's not spongy. It's dry. You'll have better time. Okay. So camping. Okay. Today the topic. Let's talk about it's been a what? How long ago? It's like 3 weeks. 3 weeks now since the release. 3 weeks now since the release.
Yep.
I see a lot of reviews out there. Aside from the malicious one, like the people who never smoked one and just complain, but I think every comments are relatively fair and positive. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it breaks my brain that there's people out there that's just really just that brain damage that something that's new, they rather just tarnish it because of whatever, because of just bullshit reasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, they are that.
Yeah,
well,
personal is different than business.
I think that's okay. To be honest, I think it's okay. I always talk about this, right? It's like, I think that good product is a good product, no matter what the comment is, what the review is gonna be. If it not to be a good product, it's gonna stay a good product. So I'm not too worried about that. But if you guys have tried it, have honestly tried it and enjoyed it, please make sure to go leave a review where you get it from. That really helps the shadows, so it helps other people to learn about it as well. But yeah, this cigar, I don't know, the more I hear people talk about it, the more I feel like this cigar has got a lot of different personalities. It's not just one. Sometimes one way, sometimes the other. It depends on what situation you're smoking at, what weather you're smoking at, what moisture level you're smoking at. It's just it has a lot of different way of expressing itself, which is kind of cool.
The cigar is celebrating its, is celebrating pride. It has different identities to it.
You want to call it that way, yeah.
The one thing I want to recognize is that Eric is smoking an unbanded cigar.
Eric, he has, I want to say, went through some sort of enlightenment, Buddhism, kind of shave his head, kind of thing.
Midlife crisis.
Yeah, he went through some sort of crisis and just change his way, man. Just change. I'm not used to this, Eric. I am not used to this, Eric, right now.
It's still $40 cigar, so don't worry.
You can hear that he tried to justify it that
Yeah,
he's still the Eric he is, but it's not. He's not the Eric I know.
it's
kinda weird.
unbanded, but it's not a brokey unbanded.
For sure.
Like, I can understand that Eric is trying to go through this. I'm gonna switch gear and start representing myself as a brand owner. But you don't have to do that, man. You can be like Steve Saka. That's totally fine. You don't have to be like, I don't know. I can't even think one that's acting like this right now. You don't have to be like a pseudo Nick Podomo, crossed with like the owner of McAuliffe kind of thing. You can just be, Steve Saka or like Eric Espinosa. That's okay. That's okay. They just be themselves, man.
No idea.
Just saying.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I don't know.
That's okay. Rick, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised. I saw him lighting up. I saw no band on the cigar. I'm like,
No,
But Eric-
basically, because Eric now either have to smoke no band cigar or ITS. He doesn't have any choice now because now that's what he is. He cannot, he does not want to get himself in that situation where it's weird. So,
okay, I can see it. All right, I understand.
but I feel like, I can still enjoy every other cigar out there with the band. So I still smoke with the band.
But no, I see the light Eric is trying to push. So I get it. I respect it. I get you.
I'm just saying it's not like like I'm pretty sure people go to lounges and stuff like that don't only smoke their own brand, right? So just as he tried to dry box, it only gets higher. When you dry box, you gotta put it inside a box that's dry. Don't put a bovita back in there. If you gotta put a bovita back in there, put a very low level one.
Like 50, like a 54, 59.
Wow, this thing tastes like horrible. Yeah, it's gonna ruin the cigar.
But other than Eric, what's everybody smoking tonight?
Well, the dilemma is that yeah.
This is gonna be a quick smoke for me. I already have a ITS next to me, but to commemorate, whatever the word is, to commemorate, I guess the Army 25th year anniversary. This is the closest I have to like a patriotic cigar. So I'm smoking the Pledge of Allegiance.
Like the timing doesn't sound right to me. Is it 25th years?
250 years of the Army.
I was like, you said 25th years. I was like, what?
250 year. I know. My verbiage and language is not the best because public school education.
Talking about those public school stuff, I mean, I still see videos. I mean, obviously, I think people over dramatize the reaction, but there are still people that doesn't know why. Like when you're in front of the window, like say if you're in front of the mirror, you put a towel in front of the mirror, but if you change the angle, you can still see yourself. Like they still don't know how that works and stuff. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, the school system is very. Yeah.
Yeah. America gotta work on that school system. I actually don't think there's a way to fix it. I mean, there's people that like school and there's people that don't like school. There's no way to fix it. You can't make people like school.
You can't fix stupid.
Can you fix stupid? Yeah, you can't fix stupid. Yeah, you can't fix stupid, huh?
Nah, you can't fix it.
Yeah, I like some of the stuff I see online. Sometimes it's just like it really drives me insane. So how is that even possible? How is that even possible? How does people not know this? Like I think America should have been like the most educated country, right? We have the most university of any other country, right?
I've seen videos of people having like the world map, and they go to random people. Point to Africa continent, and they'll poke Russia. Or where's Russia on the world map? And they'll put their finger on Canada.
Oh God.
I say, oh, where's this country or this continent? And then they'll pick this. Or they were saying, oh, give me the name of all 7 continents. They this is America, Canada, Singapore. Like, no, that's countries. I'm talking about the continents. Oh, Alaska, Japan, and just it hurts.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, our Presidente, Ethan. So yeah, I think there's gotta be something that we can kind of, well, not we, but like America can kind of fix certain things. And I think education is one of them because, like, the more educated you are, actually no, the more consciously knowledgeable you are, the better decision you can make.
Well,
I don't want to say more educated because we have some educated people that are really kind of like.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like a statistical fact that a lot of people who are more educated have less children, and people who are more of like the impoverished or poorly educated, those will have like 4 to 5 kids, while the people who are extremely educated typically will have 1 to 2 kids. So you're getting the ratio of 2 dumb parents bringing 8 kids into the world compared to a doctor and a lawyer, couple bringing in a single kid or 2 kids. So now the schools are fluctuated with just kids that their mom and the mom and dad are cousins and other shit like that.
Well, isn't that how it's supposed to be anyway?
Yeah.
I don't know. In terms of that, I don't want to say like people who's less educated have more time, but they definitely handle their stress differently.
Yeah, I mean that's because I know a lot of people from my side because growing up in a very low income community, they're very dependent on government assistance, and you kind of get more assistance the more kids you have. So there are people who would have 3 to 5 kids so they can have more EBT, they'll have more of this. So it's kind of rewarded to have more kids in low impoverished areas. So I see it that kind of way because a lot of my aunts and grandmas and uncles will all have kids, but they're all under SSI, EBT, Section 8, and so on. It's just something that's typical in low income communities.
That's not what I mean. I'm talking about like in terms of time. Like, making baby takes time.
Yeah, but when you don't work and you're collecting nothing but SSI or unemployment, you don't work, so you have time.
Well, right, but doesn't mean you want to spend that time. I don't know. Like I think I can say that I'm relatively educated, right? Right. At my age, like I think it's a chore. It's like, dude, an hour I could have like, go smoke and stuff like that rather than like feel like dead afterward, So I think it has to do with that. People who is better educated tend to have things that they want to do and they spend more time they want to do. Like, for example, I would think somebody who is like, I don't know, I say CEO JP Morgan. I just say that's for example. When he's stressed, do you think he goes to his bedroom with his wife, or he goes out to have a drink? Right?
Yeah.
Now, those people will go out to have a drink rather than have a drink at home and then rush to the bedroom.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the difference. I think that it's the lifestyle difference is what changes it.
Yeah.
But I wanna tell that I want to say that there is a huge differences between educated and knowledgeable. You
Of
can
course.
you can go to a very good school and still come out dumb,
Yes.
right? So and we have those. Like a lot of people go to college and they come out with a piece of paper and
Yep.
learn like nothing.
Yep.
There's a lot of those, and then like go to college, get a liberal degrees, and then go or study something like
Art,
art has the
dance.
difficulty to it, but then like if you learn something like I don't know, ocean animal emotions or like dolphin socialism, right? That is totally useless degree, but you got it, and then like you're the only few that has it, but nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. So
Yeah.
there is no correlation to stress and having more kids. Education, lower number of kids, correct, and mostly due to fertile times of lifespan in education and building a career.
Yeah, I can see that because people who are highly successful, they'll go to school, they'll try to get their business running. So a lot of their time is focused on starting that up. And by the time a lot of those things are set in motion, sometimes they're either in the late 20s or early 30s. And then now you have kind of a time frame to bear the kids. When people who are impoverished and they're living off the government or they have their dead end jobs or the 9 to 5s, it's just a hamster wheel. So they have the time to, all right, I'm 18, one kid, 19, another kid, 21, another kid, because they're not putting the extreme effort into building an empire while they're just working for an empire.
There is no correlation to stress and having kids. No, I think stress actually make you have less kids. I mean,
Yeah.
they're like stress. A stressful body tend to have less able to have kids, and this is one of the thing America women are having. Like a lot of them go to like the doctor to figure out why they can't have kids and stuff like that. Stress is one of the reasons.
Yep.
So,
Birth defects.
and this is why a lot of people got their baby while on vacation. So, my wife has a coworker that tried to have baby for like 7 years, keep going to the doctor, stress and all that stuff, and try that virtual or something like that, and then IVF, and it all failed. But one day she went on a vacation with her husband, came back pregnant. Now, I'm not saying that kid is definitely her husband's, but I say she came back pregnant. So, but yeah, surprisingly, people that scored the highest on musician in the army were near perfect score. For what? What kind of per score are we talking about? Like school grades? I don't know. So yeah, I think there is correlation, and I think the people's life today are too complicated, and some of them just don't want to have kids. Some of them just don't have kids, right? So, and with that, like because have kids is like okay, back 200 years ago, having a kid is like, oh, I wonder how old this kids will last to. Today is like, I wonder my kids is gonna have some issues. It's both like stressful thing. Stress is such a non-factor for a large family that doesn't even register. Stress of not getting pregnant affects more educated people because they try to start a family later in life.
I'm not sure. Have you ever watched Maury or Jerry Springer? Them women are stressed not knowing who the father is.
I don't know. When you say try to start a family later in life, how later in life is it?
Well, typically educated people are like, I would say like maybe late 20s to early 30s.
That's later in life? That's like the prime of your life.
Well, yeah, but in today kind of standards, having kids around like mid to kind of early 20s is typically the regular.
Right. But then, like, I don't see how that changes. Like, what do you mean by a large family? For a large family, stress is such a non-factor for a large family. Doesn't mean you're registered. Stress is not getting because they try to start. I don't think try to start your family later in life changes anything. Egg is egg, sperm is sperm. My aunt with heart disease got pregnant at 50. 50. A woman aged 35 dropped the 30 chance of pregnancy after 40 years of age dropped to 5%.
Well, that's more than the biological clock
I
aspect.
think that's debatable. That's debatable. That's debatable.
Well, yeah, if we go by the biology, yes, every single time a woman goes through her cycle, she loses an
Yeah.
egg. So yes, obviously, older you get, the less chances. That's just how time works.
Mm-mm.
But you
It's not
still
last
can.
no. It's not last chance. Okay, people have I think have well, I don't even think I want to get into that. Like people have misconception of how egg and sperm works. But like egg is there, a sperm is there, it will work. Right? It's just whether or not like your body has that environment for it to work. So people don't choose to not have kids because they are stressed. Science isn't debatable. You should look into it. I think you should look into it. Stress and cortisol level of a human being does affect whether or not the person can get pregnant,
Mhm.
or it because my wife goes through that, and I went to quite a bit of doctor for that. So
And
that
like
I actually know.
my sister busts out 3 kids, but one of her main issues when, I guess, obviously the pregnancy part was her stress levels. The doctor's like, you gotta do a lot of things to bring that stress level down. Because this could affect your health, it could affect the baby's health. So stress is a major factor in pregnancies.
Mm-hmm. Or to get pregnant. Like after that, it doesn't matter. Okay, after that, it might not be healthy for the baby, but once you have a baby, the baby's there. So
Yeah, if you're highly stressed, you have a chemical imbalance in your body, and trying to get pregnant can cause issues for fermentation.
I've been told that smoking actually lowers the chance of getting pregnancy. I was like, dude, man, have you seen all the Asians that smokes? They have a lot of kids.
That means I can't get pregnant.
I'm pretty sure you cannot get pregnant. That's for sure.
Hey, listen,
That's
it's
for sure.
2025 and it's June. You can't say I can't get pregnant. It's June and it's 2025.
But I've been told like, okay, if you smoke, you're not gonna be able to have kids and all that stuff. Okay, my dad smoked
Got
all
pregnant?
the time, and obviously my parent had my sister and I, so have 2 kids, no problem. My grandmother smoked all her life, and she's got 3 kids, no problem.
Yeah. My aunt smoked when she was in middle school, and my cousin was born. He's a little retarded, but she still got pregnant.
Eric, does your parents smoke
Yes.
most of their life?
Yes.
And yeah, and still have sister, brother. I mean, sister and him. It's debatable.
Well, my mom, our kid by 23 though.
Mm-hmm. Younger, it is easier. Younger is easier, but at the same time, I think younger simply means you have less stress. Like Eric, when you are 20s, doesn't you feel like you can take the world?
I still do, man. What are you talking about?
But right now, it feels most. Well, I don't know. Did you feel more or less stressful? To like you have less time now.
I feel the same. Feel no difference.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
So when I'm in my 20s, I feel like I have less stress. I have less thing I think about. Like I can take the world. It's fine. But at my 30, I was like, you know what? Maybe take half the world is fine. And now in my 40s, like I just need to keep my castle.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm going through at the moment. Like when I was in my youth, my early 20s, I felt like I owned the world. Now that I'm getting into my late 20s, I'm starting to think like, okay, I need to start going for a country instead of the world.
Mm-hmm. Like, because like when you're younger, your responsibility is less. As you get older, your responsibility just builds up.
Yep.
And goes more and more and more. So it definitely, you know, get people to a certain point of stress.
Like I remember the talk I had with Val that really kind of like opened my eyes to a lot of things. Was I believe I was 25 when I spoke to him about this, or like I guess how I saw the world and whatever. And he told me like, okay, you're 25, you're a toddler. I'm like, what do you mean?
I want to
You
address.
were you became a adult at 18. You're 7 years old into adulthood. You're a toddler. So that kind of like gave me a different perspective. Like, okay, experiment. Do what I gotta do. Now that I'm about to be basically, I'm about to be 10 years old as an adult. Now I'm trying like to narrow it down. Like I have my foundation.
I love this the guest guy. The guest guy brings up good conversation, but at the same time, it's like he's not realizing what he's saying at the same time. I love this. He says stress affects if you can get pregnant, but it's not the factor whether people are having many kids or fewer kids. The leading factor for a smaller family size, financial concern, education, and quality of life. Right?
Those
Right?
are stresses.
Those are the leading factor of stress. Like number one reason of US people divorce is financial concern. Those are the stress. Stress is literally implied in those things. Right? Quality of life is a stress. Financial concern is I don't have financial concern. I don't have a big family. I don't have financial concern. Right? I definitely have pretty good quality of life. Is that a cat? That's freaky. Wow.
Damn, you making Chinese food live? What the fuck?
But I don't have those. I don't have financial concern. I have good education. I have good quality of life. You tell me why I don't have kids.
Yeah, you have good quality of life. Like, apparently that cat doesn't.
Mm-hmm. That cat is about to lose his life.
I was 8 lives. No longer 9. It's 8 lives now.
Now it has 8 lives. So
God damn, do you have Scar and Mufasa in your house?
Just cats.
Yeah, Mufasa and Scar.
no, it's like the guess is like no one say I'm going to have 2 kids because I'm stressed out. No, you're not able to have kids because you're stressed out. A lot of people who might be in a lower.
The cat is stressed.
Yeah, the cat is stressed. A lot of people might not be in the situation where they can have kids. They still want kids. They still want kids, but they can't have it. I mean, like I don't know. Like this is why like wasn't President Trump says like he'll make like IVF treatment like part of their health system, like for free, because people can't have kids. And it's not. It's definitely not because they earn less money. In fact, the lower the income, they tend to have more kids.
Mhm.
Right. And for some reason, those low income can't afford Jordans, and I have trouble getting my Jordans.
Yep, it's called hood rich. I know a lot of hood rich people.
Yeah, there are people who have none of those, and they don't have stress. Stress is subjective. Yes. When you expect less, you have less stress, and that's definitely it. And I used to be like when I was a kid, I don't have any stress in the world. What stress? You don't know what that is. The tempura will be ready in 30 minutes. What? I don't have stress. And as I get older, the things I want more. Now I get stressed because it's not here right now.
Mhm.
For example, the West Tampa. Darkest time. I don't have any time on the table. I'm stressed.
Like for me, I want kids, but it's just I knew how I grew up, and if I have kids now, they'll grow up the way how I grew up, and I don't want that for them. So I'd rather get myself more financially secured, or at least some other type of security. So when I have kids, I don't have to repeat a cycle. That gives me a little stress.
But
But
that's the thing, right? Like,
subjective.
what is financially secure?
Well, just to make sure they have enough to have food and other kind of stuff. So it's all that kind of stuff is subjective.
Well, that's the thing, right? Subjective. What is financially secure for you?
Mhm.
What is financially secure? Eric, what would be for you considered as financially secure for your kids?
For me,
Mhm.
3 generation of wealth.
Okay. Just had to change your last name to like Rothschild or
BlackRock,
yeah.
Yep,
Rockefeller,
something like
Rockefeller.
that. Yeah, something like that.
maybe some Jewish last name like Schmidt.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of constellation and like topic, it could be very diverse.
I mean, everybody consider of what is financially secure for everybody's different,
Yeah.
right? So, Rick, what is your financially secure? Like, how at one point you'll be like, I'm financially secure. I don't care.
For me, it will be more about like in the future, my kids are like, I want to go on a trip. I want this from school. I want to do this, or I want to join a team. Sometimes that comes with a fee. Sometimes I want to be comfortable enough where I'm like, all right, go do it. It doesn't affect me. Doesn't take away food from the table. Doesn't take away anything from bills. That's secure for me. Just having just at least bottom line where if my kids need something, I can get it for them.
Okay. Now, long live Tiberius says financially secure means debt free. That means none of the top 25, highest earner are financially secure because they live on debt.
Yeah, people use debt to make money.
Yeah, people use debt. Like if you own any corporations and stuff like that, you literally have debt.
Yeah,
Trump is full of debt.
yeah.
Yeah. So is Jeff Bezos, full of debt.
And Elon Musk and
Yeah, Elon Musk's wealth is not cash; it's all debt.
Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Cuban, even the biggest celebrities from music,
Yeah,
actors.
especially the music celebrities. They borrow from the money to live on those money before their next album comes out.
Yeah, it's like perfect example I can think about is 50 Cent. His real name is Curtis Jackson. He used his 50 Cent money to start Bose I guess headphones or Bose Studios. So he could do speakers, headphones, whatever. That was good for a little bit. It started to die down and he had to go bankrupt. Curtis has money, but he decided to have 50 Cent, bankrupt that money he owed from that company. He used the debt to wipe it out.
The guess is not the same type of debt. A debt is debt. A debt is debt. Just how you use it. A debt is debt. It was I'm talking about credit card debt. You talk about people rich that doesn't use credit card. Everything I buy, I use credit card. Everything, because somebody's taking the risk for me. Right? Everything I buy, credit card. When I go out, credit card. Unless I'm fighting with Eric, credit card is not good enough when I fight the bill with Eric. Now, next time I had to toss the $100 bill on the table. That's a lot easier. Fighting against him, geez. They start to find like a smarter way to go against me now. So, I have been poor and now I'm not. I don't find myself more secure than I was at 22. Finance has nothing to do with what you make. It has everything to do with what you spend. Yes and no. I can agree with that, but I also disagree with that. If you make enough, you don't have to watch what you spend. If you make enough, you don't. So, but yes, you're right. For majority of people, that is the correct. If you watch your finance, that means you watch what you spend. It's not what you don't watch what you earn. You watch what you spend. Right. The day we woke up in the morning, know that we don't have to do anything for the rest of our life. We choose to know all the bills are paid for. We have zero debt.
I mean, there's still stressors, not stressors, but like financial stuff. Like if if you had that lifestyle, but you own a home, you still got to be on top of the property, of the property taxes. If you fall behind on that, then you could lose the house. So there's always going to be something you owe at the end of the day. So there's no one will ever have a day where they can wake up in the morning and not have to spend anything or not worry about the bills, because you always got to be on top of something at least.
Yeah, everybody's definition of like what financial security is. Yes, you do. I have 7-figure income and I have to watch what I spend. Well, 7-figure income has a huge range. I know I didn't have to watch what I spend. So and I have 7-figure income, but I don't have to watch what I spend.
It all depends on how you use your income.
Like, I get like horrible people around me, like Joey. And then like, we'll be talking about something and they'd be like, no, you won't. I'm like, sold.
Like for me, I have a cousin that used to play for the White Sox baseball team, and he didn't really value his money correctly. Like, yes, he got these multi-million-dollar contracts to play for this team, play for that team, and he bought the biggest, nicest house in this state, and he bought a secondary house in that state. But then, obviously, when it comes to athletes, over time, the older you get, most likely they're going to want to go with somebody who's younger and fresher, and they won't renew your contract. That's what happened to him. But because he wasn't smart with his money, now he had to greatly downsize from a multi-million-dollar house to now just a couple $100,000 house, downscale it, and now he has to kind of penny pinch.
Yeah,
He's still kind of well off.
If you have a finite job, like a finite time where you can make money, if you didn't set it up for your future, yeah, you gotta watch that. Like what Shaquille O'Neal, didn't he almost go on bankruptcy like the first paycheck that he got, right?
Yep.
So it's like that. You do have to set it up. Once you set it up, you don't have to worry about it. And trust eyes. So
now Shaq he's stress free. Well, no,
he still have a lot of
stressors.
bills. He have a lot of bills that he shouldn't have to pay, but he make the mistake, you pay for it, right? So
yeah, he's part owner in a lot of businesses, which again, that's also money he has to put in on a regular to keep those partial ownerships and all that kind of sorts. But he gets a lot of income back, but he still has to put in to keep those minority ownerships to these companies.
He said the only difference when you make more, the toy gets bigger and more expensive. It takes billions to watch what you spend. No, because if your statement's true, even if you make billions, your toy gets bigger.
Yeah, look at Jeff Bezos, his $100 million yacht. It's a nice big toy.
Yeah, when you make that kind of money, your job is to spend money. Because if you don't spend money, the money is not being cycled. Money's is not going out there to spread down to everybody else, right? Like okay, if all I do is earning money, and let's say I have 90% of all U.S. money, I don't spend it, then nobody have money. Your job will be to spend money to make sure the economy is going. So yeah, your job will be like it's really hard. You tell somebody to spend $1 billion in a day, it's really hard. I'm more stressed about not losing money more than I was ever stressed about making it. So you're stressed. I want to say hi to Crypto Night. I said I saw it. I just haven't had a chance to say hi. So there we go. So yeah, the way that we are dealing with stress now is obviously with a cigar. Cigar is good. Cigar is a good way to take an hour. I sometimes I do find that I have trouble finding an hour now. Before, we're talking about 5-6 years ago, before Shadow Smoke Legion. I have like 10, 15 hours a day where I can do whatever I want. I don't know where that's time went. I don't know where the time went. Maybe because I get older, I do things slower or whatnot. I just don't have that
No,
time.
it's
I don't know
just
why.
life gets busier. It's like with me, same thing with me. I'm a little bit, I'm younger, and even I find it hard to get a time to just only smoke, just to enjoy the cigar. Like just have music, have a cigar, not talk to anybody. I barely ever have the time now. Before, back when I was just joined the Legion, we'll have the nights where I'll just hop on the call with either you or Innocent, and we'll just play music and just chill.
Mhm.
Now it's like I don't have that time.
I
Whenever I
finally
do
got to do
smoke,
that yesterday. I finally got to do that. I sat down and then do a review, but like I wasn't really in the chat room or anything. I kind of sat down, just do nothing. I finally got to do that. So
and for me, whenever I smoke now, it's either for when I'm recording, either for cigar channel stuff or my other content stuff, or when I'm editing, I'll have a cigar as an edit. I'm working. I haven't had a time to actually just sit and just enjoy a cigar for a while.
Long Live Tibber says nobody should have $400 billion, $400 million boat when we have people starving. Yes, you should have money if you earned it, but I'm not saying that. No, okay. No one really have $400 billion. What people have is it's like implied wealth. It's not. It's net worth. It's not real.
Yeah,
money.
if he sells everything he owns, it'll be 400 billion.
Yeah.
He owns 400 billion.
Given that somebody were willing to buy it.
Exactly.
All right. Like somebody might have like a piece of antique that's worth $1 trillion, but if there's no buyer, nobody has it.
Yeah, if Elon sells everything he owns, from Tesla to SpaceX to Twitter, he will have billions upon billions. But the value of those companies they combine makes it 300 plus million. With Bezos, with everything he owns, if you combine everything and he sells it, that would be 400 billion.
Let's
But
just think
he
about that
doesn't.
lady. What's her name? The owner of Theranos, the blood testing company. She was at one time one of the highest net worth women, like within like 1 year or 2 years of her company coming out. She dropped to zero overnight because her company has no value all of a sudden. So it's implied worth. It's not real worth. If there's no buyer, you have no money. So when you try to sell your stock, try to cash it out, no money. It'll be penny stocks.
Yeah.
Right. So they all live on debt. That's the thing. I'm saying that they all live on debt because they do. They just live on debt. And what they do is they will sell their stock whenever the stock went up.
Yeah.
And then they will pay off their debt. And then when the stock goes down, buy it back.
Or they'll borrow against their properties, do what they want to do, to then pay it back later, a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. So keep in mind, they people live on debt.
Yeah, it's like you have Mayweather. Mayweather, he bought I think 200 apartments in New York. So if he ever gets into a financial situation, he can literally just take money out on like 20 of his properties to pay for whatever he wants to pay for next, because he owns a property. That's assets. That's not liquid. He could borrow against it, make it a little bit liquid for a little bit, get what he wants to get, and then he has the tenants that will re-assify the properties.
But keep in mind, during COVID, those were liabilities.
Yes.
So, yes, you can get loan against stock. Loans are tax free. Yeah, any debts are tax free.
Yeah.
I wish I could make money when I'm not actively working, so I can focus on my health, working out, meditation. Oh, I can't read. It's too small. Learning to eat healthier instead of conveniently. To me, that's wealth. And I agree. Mental wellness is something money can buy.
Technically, you can. There's a lot of mental awareness or mental wellness or even wellness channels on YouTube where you put a little bit of time and dedication to making these type of content. Where YouTube, if you are a popular YouTuber, there's times where you can upload like 10 videos in a month and then just chill out for a month and still get paid as if it blows up. That's obviously if the algorithm worked with you. There's a lot of people like Logan Paul. Logan Paul, he's doing WWE for extra money. But if Logan Paul just quits, he will have residual money for a long time because of his YouTube channel, his podcast. He could easily hire, different cast members. He already has his buddies running his podcast. So it's like he could not do anything for a year and still get paid good money.
I guess just say, Josh, save up money, rental property, or have retirement because of passive income. I just told you again, during COVID, that was a liability.
There's a lot of people who I knew who owns property that dealt with a lot of people who did not want to pay rent because the government said, "Oh, you don't have to pay rent." People took good advantage of that because of COVID.
Yeah, that's a liability. So in that case, my house is worth $1 billion. I haven't found the right buyer. That's why I haven't sold. Yeah, you can say your house is worth $1 billion. You can put any item on eBay for whatever amount you want. It's just buyer. And an item's worth is at the eye of the beholder, right?
Yeah.
So you can set whatever price you want. It doesn't mean people will buy it.
Yeah, it's like what was it? Going back to the same person again, Logan Paul. I'm not a big fan of him, but he had that pristine 10 Charizard card that he put on a necklace when he went on the I think a UFC fight or MMA fight or boxing fight, some type of fight. He put it into a necklace. He showed it off. And people said if he sells it, it's worth $1 million. Can it be? Maybe not. Will somebody buy it for $1 million because it was Logan Paul's and he wore it for a fight? Yeah, it has the value, quote unquote, for $1 million. Doesn't mean it is $1 million. It's just a value the public is stating.
Yeah.
You can say it's $1 million.
Everybody think they have $1 million idea as well. Eric, is the ITS worth $1 million to you?
No.
There you go.
They're worth $1 trillion.
Sometimes you gotta be realistic.
What about the idea of ITS?
No.
Okay.
$1 billion.
That car ended up to being a fake.
True. I think he bought a fake pack. I think he got scammed.
I would say not yet, at least.
Yeah, there was like rocks in there or something, like a brick.
Mhm.
Yeah. I guess I just don't know what to do with money when I get it, besides saving it. How do you figure out how to survive? How to surround yourself with people that know what to do and what are willing to help? You don't.
You don't. You do yourself.
Yep.
If you want to do shit right, do it yourself.
The biggest motto for your life is yo-yo. You on your own.
It's good to have a great partner on your side too.
Yeah. The things that if you do things right, you'll surround your people with people that that agrees with you, that may be able to help. If you go on to seek it, not gonna like a lot. Here's the thing. Okay, a lot of people like to go to the corporate events, and they're like, I'm gonna go networking to the people that's higher up, and maybe they'll help you. They don't, because they got there already. You are just one of those people that don't care. Yeah, because they're not here to make other people money. They're there to make themselves money. So, when you're there to network, you're not gonna find the people that is willing to help. You can only find real, true friends that is willing to help. That is, that you surround yourself with without expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh, they happen to know this, they happen to know that, they happen to this. Like, for example, if I know Eric, I don't ever expect him to do my nail, ever, right?
I do.
But if I do need it, I'll be like, dude, Eric, it's to save my life. I need to get this nail to look pristine. That's what I mean. You gotta you surround yourself with friends that maybe they know how to do this stuff, but you don't want to expect. I'm not gonna go meet this person because he can do something. I meet this person, I surround myself with these people because I want to be friends with them. And when you run into a situation, you find people to ask the questions, right? So,
and when you run a situation, when you ask, expect a no.
Mm-hmm.
Expect a no.
Yep.
If Tony life depended on his nail getting fixed by Eric, Eric's like, okay, you want your obituary in Times New Roman and Ariel?
Own family even. My aunt just called me like 2 days ago. I mean, no, yesterday. And she's like, "Can I borrow $2,000?" I was like, "Hell no, hell no." It's like, "You don't trust me?" I was like, "I don't trust anyone." I don't want to get into that situation where I have to get it back. And she's like, "Well, it's not a lot of money." I was like, "No, but do I want to get into a fight over $2,000? No." And I know you're not gonna well use that $2,000. I mean, there are few people I know that I don't have to go into that fight, so I do it. But aunt, not one I want to get into a fight with. Yo-yo is the one cause of mental health issue in men. Really?
No, I would say societal standards causes a lot of men's mental illnesses, because in society, with everything from movies to just how parents were, uh, men were taught to conceal your feelings. It's not really just you being on your own. It's just you're taught to be on your own.
Stop being
That-
weak. That's why I hear.
Yeah, stop being weak. Man up.
Never
So
find another
it's
pay. Okay, so I knew my aunt is borrowing that money because she had a fight with my other aunt. Because last time she was calling me and she was bragging about she's gotta go Shanghai, have this guy that she's gotta get into, and I was telling her, you got scammed. So
I
I'm
don't
not
like-
giving the money for it.
I don't like to lend family or friends money. That's the truth.
Mhm.
I don't like to do that, and I rarely do that.
Yeah.
I would say no
I
a lot of the time, unless you're like your dog is dying. Yeah. But other than that, if you just come to me randomly that you say you need $2,000 for rent, I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean it's situation based. It's situation based, and I think majority of the time I don't want to deal with like that. Like if you put the money out, you kind of don't kind of expect some issues.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I feel like I just give it to you, that's fine. And like you ask me for it, it's fine. Don't ask me to borrow it. Because you ask me for it, it's a gift, it's fine. I accept that. I could give it to you, yes. But if you ask me to borrow it, now we might have a problem.
That seems to be the thing, right? Like if we're outside, I'll be like, "Yo, Eric, give me $1." That's never an issue. But if I say, "Eric, let me borrow $1," Eric's
Yeah,
like,
now we
"I
have an
got
issue.
$1."
Yeah, now we have an issue. Like you're gonna borrow my dollar, when you gonna pay my dollar back?
Right? It's like, hello. Yeah, I don't think I ever like. Yeah, I don't ever talk to Eric like that, huh? Eric, when's the last time I said, "Hey, let me borrow $10"?
No,
I'm like,
me and
Eric
you,
got $10.
when me and you go out, if we like, hey, it's like, hey Tony, give me $50. You know,
Mhm.
I don't like, hey Tony, give me, let me borrow $50. No, like give it to me or
Yeah.
not.
Okay, you guys don't want this, okay? When we're in DR, we have a certain amount of cash, and the credit card don't freaking work, okay?
Yeah.
And it was like, Eric, I can't pay for this.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like it's the gifting is different from you borrowing. Borrowing is a burden.
Yeah.
to borrow.
Yes. I hate that feeling. I hate like I have to go ask. I have to ask back or something. That's weird.
Yeah, it's a burden on the people that lend it. When you gifting is a gift, you don't think about it after. It's like Christmas, you know.
And sometimes it's like a test of like kind of friendship kind of thing. Like, if you if I say, Rick, I loaned you $40. Okay. And then you keep not giving it back, and then you go buy other things. Even if it's not intentional, it makes me feel like shit.
Of course.
You know?
Of
It makes me
course.
feel like shit. So it's like, dude, like, $40 is not a big deal, but like you don't think about to pay back the like our friendship is not worth 40. And then eventually it got to a point where like Rick might avoid me for $40. Like, are you really? You gotta avoid somebody for $40? Your friendship is only worth $40.
Yep.
Avoid somebody.
I've been through that.
Yeah, it's not worth it. That's why it's a
Mhm.
lot easier to just like. But I think that's a different culture too. Like Asian culture. If you're really close with somebody, you just ask. Say, "Yo, put this one, take care of that, this and that." Like whenever you get a phone call, the first thing is like, "Can I borrow some money?" That sucks. I hate that kind of phone calls. So you call me, you don't ask me how I'm doing. Your first thing was like, "Yo, can I borrow money?"
Yeah.
At least they're straight to the point.
Yeah, straight to the point. But like,
Then they didn't even see you as family or a friend. They just see you as an ATM.
yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, but it's implied expectation for Asians. Like, if somebody, like my family member, my immediate family member, I'm not talking my aunt or whatever, my sister, my mother, if they call me for money, they won't even say like, let me borrow it. They're like, I need $2,000. I need
Yeah,
$4,000.
they ask for it. They never borrow. Like my mom, my sister, all three of my sisters. When we have financial problem, we don't borrow. We ask for it. We're like, give it to us.
Yeah, they were just like, give me this. Okay, I'll send over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like that's instant. Like, okay, let's do it. You know.
But that's implied responsibility though, so it's kind of different. It's like a daughter asking the father for like $50.
Yes.
You know, kind of that thing. You just give. That's implied.
But once my sister or my mom or somebody say, "Can I borrow?" Then I was like, I just hung up.
Can I borrow?
Yo, Eric, can I borrow an ethanol?
Give 2 after fall back. I'm fine.
That better be on black and white paper with interest. Okay.
Every month you don't give me back an ethanol is another ethanol on top of that.
I have a friend that I have not spoken in over 10 years, randomly sent me a message Facebook the other day, asked me for $50. The fuck? Yeah, that's weird. If money will solve a bad situation for a friend, a family, I will give it. If prolonged situation, then I have to say no. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, it's one of those things that, do you teach somebody to fish, or do you just give them the fish? Right? If somebody say, I'm in a really tough situation, I'm like, dude, I'll help you out. Let's go to the bank. You can go borrow money from the bank.
Yeah.
Right? Mike, you need to stop asking that. We don't ask that. All right. No dry bagging for cigars here.
Mm.
You know, you can try one, man. It's $20. Try one. Go and try one. Don't get it gifted. Join the shadow. Try one. But I why do I feel like Mike already tried one? Let's see what else I'm missing.
I mean, if you just want to have one a
All right.
place, if you want a single, then obviously
Take that shit off the screen, bro. You want to die?
I'm talking about just I'm not saying it, but implying we want a single.
You asked that question, Mike. You asked that question like 4 days ago. You asked that question 4 days ago. I think we say no, right? Down rogue. Never tried it. You asked that question.
I haven't really looked into it.
What the hell happened? Yeah. So is that a serious question? Like, you asked that. So what is the YouTube policy against cigars? Why are people getting the China censored? So YouTube consider cigar as a controlled substance. So what they do is they don't want their stuff on there.
And no, I haven't tried Down Rock. Never. I haven't even saw it to now.
I haven't heard of it before until now. Well, last time you mentioned it.
And that's a problem. Like, you know, at this point, do we try more new cigar, or do we just nah?
I already told you my plan. So yeah. But then that's me.
I think Ara has reached a crossing row point where he's standing at a place with multiple different row, and he had to decide which row is the best for him, and then he might have to jump over to a different row. But as he's going, he's trying to figure out. He's at a self-discovery phase. But I'm saying, Eric, it's okay to be yourself and still do that. You don't have to. We're not in London. Just saying. You don't have to become something else. Just saying.
Maybe I'm becoming my true self, you know.
No, that's definitely not your true self. We're not stupid.
It's becoming Wukong.
Yeah, nah. Are the cigar just a reason to get together and shoot the shit? It's a catalyst. It's a tool, right? Like, you know, like when you go to party, you're drinking. Is the drinking just a reason to get together and shoot the shit? No, it's just catalyst. It's something you have. It's
Yeah,
you know.
Cigars is a door opener for a lot of things. Just for either socializing, could be business wise. This could be a place where you close the door on a busy life. So sometimes people will go to lounges or be on discords and basically just push their stressors to the side and just talk life.
Yeah, cigar is a good like timekeeper. When I'm done with a cigar, I know I'm about an hour in.
Yep.
So, have you considered to broadcast on Rumble? No. I think some people went to Rumble and came back.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit of issue with Rumble. I just don't want to have to learn that, and you know, when something that still works. Yeah.
Because Rumble, I believe, because I went on Rumble for a little bit.
There's no audience. There's nobody else.
There's not really an audience, and then you gotta pay. So with Rumble, if you want to stream, I think it's a monthly cost. So their free variation is like 15 hours a month maximum. If you want to do more than that, and I think you got to pay like $35 a month for like 30 hours. Then there's a $50 one for I think 40 hours, and then there's $100 a month thing for like unlimited streams. So it's like you got to pay, and if you're not getting the residuals back, then it's a net negative or just net neutral, which makes no sense.
There's no platform out there that could beat YouTube with traffic.
Yeah, because there's no traffic. They have a one-dimensional traffic, and they had their rise because they're trying to compete with YouTube at one point, and then it just became plateaued. So you probably get like if you have an audience on YouTube side for like if you have 1,000 followers on YouTube, maybe 60 will go to your Rumble, but then maybe out of those 60, only like 3 will be on your lives. Compared to if you go on live on YouTube.
From what I heard, like Rumble has a lot of like political ads or something like that.
Yeah,
that's not something I want to deal with. So, I use cigar. I've been in to try a new cigar, and I feel my humidor was bangers. Okay, I do smoke what the saying guess was something, but that will ask for a recommendation from a friend. Okay, Kick is pretty good. Kick is another one of those like those streaming platform was meant more for vloggers who goes out there and do stuff. So
yeah, Kick became a place where IRL content creators became a thing, and IRL stands for in real life. Mm-hmm. So Kick is more for people who are actually out and about making content, going into cities, going in the car, driving around, doing like fan meetups, or just an everyday type of vlog style lifestyle. That's what Kick promotes the most.
Mike says, I've seen people talk about cigar on Twitch. Yes, we semi-string to Twitch, just not this one. Our YouTube one actually semi-string to Twitch as well. It's all about like, you know, accessibility, like whatever software we're using, whether or not they allow to stream to somewhere else while we're at it, I use it. If not, you know, it's what it is. Like for this one, it streams to X, YouTube, and Facebook.
Yeah, so. I mean, Twitch, I know one of the biggest, it's like, I would say maybe Fortnite / Call of Duty creator. I think he goes by Nick Merckx. He's a cigar connoisseur, and he smokes on his lives, and he gets hundreds of thousands of viewers, per stream. And there's another guy too, I forgot his name, but yeah, cigars to talk about on Twitch.
Joey said you can smoke or talk about cigar on any platform. You just can't promote buying, selling on their platform. You can do it on Rumble. Rumble don't care what you do. What can I expect from my first cognac dip cigar? I never had cognac, but my wife got it for me as. That depends on which cognac you're talking about. Cognac tend to have like a nice, plummy, sweeter, wine-like taste. So when you dip it in there, that's what you're getting. So, if you want to get some Maduro to go with it, pretty good. If you want to do some like Connecticut, I heavily against it. And Habano just doesn't match well. So it depends what it is. There's a reason why majority of people pair bourbon, because the woodiness, the oak and stuff like that goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maduro, you might have a good time. Kick is funded by online casino, but yeah, a lot of IRs are streaming the worst version of Twitch, but Kick take much smaller cut. Yeah, but then the thing is that there's no profit streaming on, or it depends how you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
For us, there's no profit, so we try to do it things that are the least amount of expense possible.
Yeah, Kick is ran by, he goes by Trainwreck, and the second most influential person on Kick goes by Aiden Ross. And
Isn't the founder of Kick is in Korea or something like that?
I think so. I think that's one of the investors. But the person who openly manages Kick he goes by Trainwreck, and he used to be a former streamer on Twitch. But then Aiden Ross also put in money into Twitch, into Kick, so he became like a part owner or minority owner, whatever, something like that. But their main promotion and sponsorships are like gambling sites and casino-based stuff or gambling-based entities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you do get a bigger cut if you stream on Kick. And at one point they had an incentive where if you were a smaller creator but not getting good revenue or memberships, they will pay you an hourly rate, maximizing at I think like either 30 or 45 hours a week at like $14 an hour. So there was they had a cool amount of incentives with Kick, but it's a lot relaxed with guidelines. But when it came to things that are highly dangerous to be on that site, they didn't really do anything to negate it. So it became
Somali.
on Somali. You see that they call that brand or that kind of niche they're called nuance streamers. And Trainwreck and Aiden didn't do really anything to stop it. There's been some streamers that will put minors in danger and have them drink and other type of stuff that is not really good, and they don't really do anything. And some dumbass kid named Jack Doherty was riding in his Lamborghini, looking at stream chat while it was raining, and he hydroplaned and crashed his car.
Yeah, not good. For Dr. Bob, why am I smoking? I've been smoking ITS. I've been trying to smoke ITS with different drinks every time to see what ruins it, because I see sometimes I see like contradicting reviews and stuff like that, and I try to figure out why. Right, and a lot of time by studying it makes you understand flavor better. Because I tend to usually go in my comfort zone, just tea, coffee, milk tea, soda, that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to branch out to drink various different nasty drinks to see what makes it nasty. And in terms of dipping tequila, every cigar pretty much dipping tequila tastes sweeter and better. That's just the way it is. So Rico Barado has changed since American Viking, so they don't taste the same anymore. I don't know how it would taste like in tequila. I haven't tried the new one really. I tried the old one. So I had a Diesel D 10th anniversary cigar with the Oscuro wrapper. The cigar was quite pungent. Was it because the wrapper or because it's cheap cigar? I prefer any Maduro. When you say pungent, like pungent, nasty pungent, good pungent, you know, like it has. When you say cheap cigars, obviously they use it has to do with the tobacco, right? And it has to do with the blend. And when you say pungent, like pungent just means very heavy in taste. It's so what kind of pungent? Nasty as fuck. Okay. Now, some cigars use a certain wrapper or certain tobacco that makes it heavier, and a lot of blender actually like earthy taste. And so when you're getting something oscuro, you got to give a lot of dark notes and stuff like that, and you might not like it. When you say something is nasty, it just means you don't like it. Does not mean other people don't like it. It just means you don't like it, and it just means that their target audience isn't you, right? So it has to do with what the target audience is. Something like Oscuro wrapper cigars are not that popular, believe it or not. So they target those people who like darker, earthy notes.
Yeah, it's like Gurkha and the Amazon basin.
Mhm.
Their main target is the people who like the earthiness. Espinosa target people who like spice.
And to make something like Oscuro palatable, they use something lighter inside. They just use Oscuro wrapper and inside something lighter. And depends on what price you pay. If you pay very low amount of money, those filler has no flavor. So all you're tasting is that wrapper, and then you had to really like the wrapper. Am I missing something? Anyone other than Zio and Rick has a video review? Yeah, this person named Hot Box Cigar also have a review out just like a few minutes ago. So I think that's another one to watch.
Pick Jimmy does too.
Pick Jimmy does too, but just the title is not. It's just watch his most recent one. That's a review. I just had an Al Satimo Michelangelo, and the cigar was freaking boring, no flavor. Again, what you're looking for. It's what you're looking for, and a lot of time what I'm looking for is not in the cigar I smoke, especially with the Al Satimo as well. So if you watch my older reviews, I don't tend to find what I want. But that's why now in the end, Eric and I went to make a cigar with flavor that we want, and so we smoke it more often now because that's the flavor we're looking for. Does not mean that we want it every day. We'll still smoke something else, but majority of the time, if we smoke a cigar, it was boring, we'll go smoke another cigar that we like. So I always have a spare, right? If you got to smoke a cigar, prepare one cigar that you know that your go-to, that you know what flavor you're getting, and prepare one cigar that that you are trying or you're not sure. Who's making your cigar? Las Lavas in Dominican. Yeah, when somebody say Nicaraguan binder and Nicaraguan filler, it doesn't really tell you anything. It just means the tobacco is there. It's from there. But it doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you the grade of the tobacco. It doesn't tell you what kind of tobacco it really is. It doesn't tell you the farm. It doesn't tell you the source. You don't know. Right? It's like if you go to a restaurant and on the menus they have cola. They don't say Coca-Cola. They just say cola. It could be any cola. It could be a generic cola. It could be like a local made cola. It could be any cola, right? But it just tells you cola. You don't know anything about it. You just know that it tastes like cola, right? But it does not tell you the quality of the cola. It doesn't tell you more information about the cola. So that's why we make our cigar undisclosed, because that information really just keep you wondering, like, why is this? Why is that? It shifts the focus on what the flavor is. So when you're saying that, the binder is Nicaraguan, the filler is Nicaraguan, number one, you don't know what the region is, you don't know the quality is, and number two, you really cannot prove it. And can you go to someone and disprove it? You can't prove it.
When we went and blend our cigar, we tell the factory at that. They look at us like, "What are you saying?"
Yeah,
they don't know what they don't know what we're talking about.
We sat down. We start telling them, I want Nicaraguan this, what about that, what Dominican this. They're like, what are you talking about? Like the information you give me does not tell me what you want. You tell me a country. You know how many tobaccos in one country? Each leaf has 3 different shades. And it's from like 4 different sections of tobacco. Like what are you talking about? So that region doesn't tell you anything. It tells you maybe, like, you know, okay, Esteli and Jalapa, Nicaraguan taste world difference. They don't taste the same. Right? I think we can agree with that, yes? If you ever try the Escalade tobacco and then try Jalapa tobacco and then try Almatepe, do they taste the same to you? They're all from Nicaraguan. It's not gonna taste the same. So that information isn't telling you anything. And I say like that, you know, they might have gotten like, let's say Jalapa, but they get like the worst grade possible. It ain't gonna taste like anything either. Most people who only smoke diesel cheap stuff, they think that is only experience that they will get from them. Their vintage series Maduro is actually great supplant. Okay, I'm starting to work alongside my local lounge and try to bring different brands that are maybe as well known. Would you open the idea of bringing distributor at a lounge? You mean like distribute to a lounge?
Go to Instagram and message me.
Yeah, if the lounge you want to carry in the shadows, just contact to have the lounge
Contact us. We're not hard to find.
So like I don't think any cigar brand would say we're not gonna distribute to you.
Yeah, that's impossible.
You just have to let me know. Make sure that always launch they definitely have a license. So it's all paperwork basically. You know, they decide what you want to carry, how much you want to carry, and then paperwork. Okay. I need to light up another. So yeah, internal tobacco, internal cigars. Those region doesn't help you. It's good to read about. It's good to give kind of idea when you're reviewing it, because when you review it, nobody tastes it. But as a consumer, you should just try it. Because the only way to find out is to try it. Yes, we would like to carry ideas. Yeah. When you want to, just have them contact us. Have the lounge contact one of us. Padron would. I know a lounge that tried to get them for 5 years before they would sell them cigars. Well, Padron is more like you can carry Padron, but you have to carry the amount they want, or else.
So Davidoff.
Yeah, Davidoff, you have to carry the whole series, the entire thing, right?
They want a whole cabinet.
So there is rules for some of the brands, but they won't stop. They won't say I won't distribute to you. Whether or not you can carry it, you can afford it.
Yeah, they won't say no to you.
Yeah,
they just give you terms and conditions.
Yeah, they were like, this is our minimum amount of weight. You should start up. You had to do this. You had to buy one of their shelf, the tray with multiple things. You had to buy X amount of cigars so that their cigar thing always look full. So they have an image to keep, and you must feel that. If you can't, they won't. So they won't. It's not like they won't distribute to you. It's the shop that they won't. They can't meet it.
Like when I go to a Casa de Montegreso, and no matter which one I've been to, they have a Davidoff section that has the Davidoff logo on it. It has the trays. It has the boxes. They need to have all that for them to carry all those Davidoffs. If you want a particular Davidoff, like only 1 or 2, that will be more difficult.
You had to go for a wholesaler. Yeah, you had to go for a wholesaler. But if you want to carry Davidoff, I think the new account they make you buy their shelf humidor thing.
Yep,
a whole shelf thing, like a display.
Yeah. But when you buy it just one off, you're gonna have to upsell it a lot because you gotta go to the distributor for that. and
Per
distributor
shop
won't
owner, they
give
will
you a
only
cost.
sell any cigar if they wanted the whole line. Wait, per shop owner, Padron will sell them any cigar. He wanted the whole line. I can be 100% sure. Just go off the owners. Yeah, I mean, okay, so there are some cigars that are so limited you can only get it if you push enough cigars. The same thing with like Opus, right? They have such a limited quantity and distribution that they want that you had to show that you can push that much cigars, so they give it to the loyal owners, loyal shops.
You have to make sure you have like the traffic to hold their cigars.
Yeah,
They're not gonna give it to you. They just say, "Okay, give me your sales. How many sales you go through a month? How many Patreons do you go through a month or a year?" If it hits their criteria, all right, we'll give you 1 box of this, 2 box of this, and so on and so on.
I don't think they will be like, they wouldn't sell them any cigars, because as far as I know, even like brand new shop like Cigars Daily was able to get Padron immediately when they first started. So it's not that they won't sell themselves, it's that they can't meet whatever they required. From what I understand, Davidoff also won't allow market to be overly saturated with their product. They don't want their stuff in every store.
No,
That is not
that
really
is not.
true.
No.
That's not true. Because, like, for example, in New York, I can every 3 block I could probably find a place to sell Davidoff.
Davidoff just have a big requirement.
Yeah, they have big requirement.
Yeah, it's all about terms and conditions. You want our product? You need a shelf.
Yeah,
And
Davidoff.
this is how much a shelf is. Can you afford it? No. All right, we can do business.
Yeah, Davidoff will sell anywhere as long as you can meet their requirement. Nick Perdomo was just at our lounge, and Bruce Bush and from Karen Berger was here recently too. They love making appearance, promote their brand. Yes, especially Karen Berger is brand new, so she have to kind of put herself out there. I have Eric put her out there. So everybody meet Eric. Everybody meet team. Eric team. Eric team. There you go.
Yeah, Nick is everywhere. He promotes Perdomo really, really as much as he can.
Yeah. And Perdomo is a common brand. I mean, it's everywhere. And cigar is all about education.
Mhm.
Right? It's part of education. You got to get people to try it. Once they try it, they might like it, they might not. So some manufacturer make you buy all their shitty cigars. If you want the primo ones on your shelf. Yes. Because if they don't do that, they can't get rid of the thing that makes the most money. In fact, the rarest cigar is actually not moneymaker. People usually don't buy it. It's their core and their shittier stuff that makes more money. I didn't realize what a pain ass to get the good cigars. They had to buy 12 boxes of cigar. They won't sell it to that won't sell to get 1 box cigar. They will. Yes. And in fact, the new we just heard about the new Paciencia. In order to buy a box of that Alma de Cello, they had to buy like what $5,000 worth in order to buy 1 boxes. So yeah. When you have a limited amount of distribution and then everybody wants it, you kind of have to find a way to limit it down so you don't have beef with everybody. You set a guideline that's so hard to meet that you don't have beef with anybody. Because last thing you want is to have every shop is like, you sell it to them, but you won't sell it to me. Right? Why would you sell it to that brand, but you won't sell it to me? But when you set a guideline that's so hard to meet, they won't say that. They'll be like, oh, everybody had to meet this guideline. So long as you meet it, you can have it.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of Padron, I've seen Padron in like smallest shop ever. Like my local shop has it, and that place don't even have a real lounge. It has a chair, So now you might have more problem if your store is solely online. Padron might have a problem with you because you can't distribute. You can't display their product. So Perdomo might have a problem with you if all you have was a online shop.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful about that one. I think Perdomo makes mid cigars, but they're consistent and good value. I love their story. I hope they have. They already have huge success. They
Yes.
are one of the common brands that's out there, and they're supposed to be not crazy. They're supposed to be a cigar that most people can afford and start out with those cigars. Okay, they are supposed to be one of those that you go to cigar shop and go, I just started smoking. What should I try? And to be one of those, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first 5 years, you'll continue to go to those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of lines per se, but they do have a name out there.
Yeah, they're Perdomo is like
Perdomo catalog is getting big.
they have a good catalog. But I view Perdomo the same way how the world kind of sees like Keanu Reeves. It's hard to hate him. It's like it's kind of hard to hate Nick. But it's like once you're a more experienced smoker, you know, obviously you go for cigars in your branch of flavor notes, and you kind of stray away from Perdomo. But you do still wish success for Perdomo because of just how genuine he is with just his love for the culture and the community. So it's like I can't truly hate Perdomo. I may not favor his cigars, but I do love the fact that he is, you know, super successful in business.
Perdomo has got to be successful no matter what. At
Yeah.
this point, it's
Yeah,
pretty much
he's-
every new shop will have him.
Perdomo literally is one of the giant right now.
Yeah, and with Nick Perdomo go to everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
He's such a social butterfly. He again, I had a almost 4-hour conversation with him, and with me at the time, I was getting to the experience side, and I strayed away from Perdomo. I still bought a box just out of the respect the conversation we had. It was a genuinely good conversation. So it's like he kind of guilts you to buy a cigar off of him, but it's just his personality is so amazing. You could tell he loves what he does.
Well, or cigar. A lot of times, the people that behind the cigar, right? So you know, the relationship can get you to buy cigars, and so a lot of times it's that part of it.
Yeah.
Right. Because so cigar is such a social thing. The social behind it makes sense. Makes a lot of difference.
Yeah. It's like Denzel Washington. People will buy movie tickets just to see Denzel in movie theaters because of the name. People respect him as an actor. So people will
Denzel
go out their way.
Actually, he's a very wise guy. He say a lot of wise things.
Yeah.
Yo, Don, he uses a different Instagram all the time because
He did. He used another new one today.
Yeah, I was like, who the? I was like, okay. Then I was like, I look into it. I was like, oh, it's Don. Okay.
I was like, should I click on this thing? Because the previous one, when I click on it, it exhales so fast. Yeah, hello, Eric and Ting. Hi, how you doing? My name's Ting. Nice to meet you.
Hey Don, I'm team.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're at hour 28 minutes. I think we should cut up here. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows if you smoke an ITS, you like it, make sure to go leave a review where you purchased the cigar from. Help us to be out there. And let your friend know, share with your friends, and you know, continue to support the shadow so that we have a chance to work on the next one if we do work on the next one. And you know, and we do have a new Instagram now, SSL Cigars. So go follow that. If we have any new news, it will be there. It might not have a lot of posts right now, but you know, as soon as we have something new, we'll post it there. Okay, go follow that one. And anything else we're missing?
No. I just linked the new Instagram.
Can we even put that on there?
I mean,
Rick
is
just
a link.
randomly do shit. I swear to God, that's I swear to God, that's
Does
like
this
advertising,
does
bro.
this sell?
It doesn't.
And yeah, there should be nothing wrong with it. It's a media. It's not a site.
I'm gonna kill you if something happened.
I know
Anyway.
the site the social medias are fine, but not the sites.
Okay. All right. Social medias are fine. Anyway, so on the side, I want to remind everybody if you're smoking the ITS cigar does not like to be wet. Don't do it at 70%. 65. All right. If you worry about it, 66. Don't do it at 70. It's going to be hard to smoke. Okay. 65. All right. And we look forward to any other reviews out there that comes out. If you do make one, and then we don't already follow you, put it in the Instagram, message us so we can go take a look at it. We can repost it for you. Put it out there. All right. So that will be it for today. We'll see you Wednesday. So tomorrow on a regular show. And yeah, have a good night, guys.
Night.
Peace.